What are the village frontline staff seeing, and how is the role of the village manager changing or evolving? And I'll throw to Janet for this one.
Thanks, Andrew. I thought you were going to switch the questions then.
Yeah,
it made me
I almost
slightly
did.
anxious. Okay. We're looking at over the last few years in terms of trends and changes that frontline staff are experiencing. I think generally residents that are more active and more likely to come into the community centre and to engage with frontline staff are enjoying better health and are generally more positive in their view and have less concerns about village operations and such like. We are seeing a greater ratio of older residents with more chronic health issues in the village. The average age at the village I currently manage is 81, and some of those people have come in their mid-70s but have stayed, and the other end is people in the 95 who are actually really quite fit. So it's not always age related, it's lifestyle related and how people have managed their health in the years leading up to and subsequently to moving into retirement living. So we are looking at more mobility scooters and accommodating those as people transition and need to stay independent, to our other cohort of residents who are enjoying swimming and in the gym and very connected with the community and are sometimes working or on boards of management. So meeting those needs is a trend that's is occurring. At the village I manage, we have a lot of cultural diversity. So we are finding that people with English as a second language are losing some of that first language. So we've moved and adapted to that by using a safety app on the television, on the phone, which is a translation app. And I've been very fortunate to have a very tech-savvy assistant village manager working with me who is very good at working out apps to use for people. When you press a button, it translates into the language that you want to use. That's been fantastic. So the trend again is residents taking up iPads and iPhones. The only tricky thing with that is they need a little bit of help in how to connect up to the Wi-Fi and how to access their photo gallery. So that's certainly been a change that we've experienced over the last few years. On the other side, there's a bit of increased anxiety about where to from here. I think it's always been a very clear delineation of it's independent living. If you need care, then basically we need to outsource that or to refer you on. But I'm interested in that yesterday's presentation is a move forward in regards to integrated care. So I'll be very interesting to see how that unravels and how that actually gets implemented in an otherwise independent service living model. Our residents do have home care packages, but some of those are waiting an extraordinarily long time, as most people have known to avail themselves of that. We have a number of transgender residents, and so we need to be thinking about how we provide cultural diversity for our residents and how we include those people comfortably and satisfactorily. And the second part of that is how is the VM's role evolving? Tech savvy is really important, understanding the digital platforms, understanding what people need to do. Some people need to know what a mouse is, that it's not in a cage, it's something that actually you use to open up a whole network of information for you. And I think the VM's role is really a facilitator of change. We've heard yesterday about the changes that are going to be occurring. Part of our role is to make sure that that change is communicated effectively and in a way that most people can grasp and understand. So technical skills are greater for compliance, EH&S, and know your risks on your site. And the facilitation skills of helping people to transition from retirement living to care is an essential part of the role, and knowing how that all works.
Great, thanks,
Thank
Janet, that's fantastic. Just I'll throw another question to the panel. How do village managers walk the line between empowering residents through facilitating outcomes versus supporting them too much and caretaking? So, Ross, perhaps you might want to have a crack at that one.
Yes, well, we find at our village, we're a vertical village, very independent residents. We probably have 12 different care providers come to our village at the moment, so that would be people, organisations the residents have organised directly with themselves. We've made an association with a preferred supplier, so we try and work with that preferred supplier. We know they're good and recommend that service first rather than getting unknown providers coming in from outside. So probably the way forward for us at the moment is to use a preferred supplier, and so we have some control of the quality. We have a relationship with them, and basically make sure you use the experts to do the job for you, really. Same as we use other contractors who are experts in their field. Let's work with an expert provider.
Excellent. One for Julie. What are the new skills required to effectively respond to residents with a focus on baby boomer? And I'm pretty close to that myself, or as my daughter calls me, a boomer. And for residents of the future.
Yeah, that's it's a big question because there's a really big divide amongst some of our residents, and we've got the post-war residents, some moving toward their century in life, and their needs and desires in life are very different to that of the baby boomers. So facilitating that can be really difficult at times, that's for sure. The important thing I think is to make sure that we truly understand what our residents want, and that can be really difficult to find out. And it's a discussion that we have often amongst our staff, and it's delving into each individual resident's personality and what drives them. And I don't think we can facilitate an activity schedule or a culture in our village unless we truly know what each of our residents, what makes them tick. And I think once we know that, then we can set the wheels in motion to give them autonomy to have a culture and an activity schedule that really suits them, and tap into that as each new resident comes on board. The residents of the future, we don't know what they're going to be like yet, so we have to spend that time as they come through to really get to know what they're like.
When my daughter gets there, it'll be teaching her how to pack a dishwasher. So what are your views on the available training and professional development opportunities for village managers? And do you prefer online training, in person, or something else? I'll just throw that to all three of you. And
I'm happy to take that one.
Thanks.
I'm currently undertaking my village manager's development course.
Yep.
And it's a combination of online, on-the-job training, and I don't think there's one specific way that you can achieve that.
Yeah, sure.
I think you have to spread that out across multiple platforms to get the desired result, and you've got to team up with colleagues and learn from each other as well along that journey.
Sure. Janet or Ross, do you have any sort of view on that?
I think it's really important to go back to looking at a review of your own performance. We come into this industry with very different toolkits. Some people come from a welfare or a care background, others come from hospitality and hotel management. So it's really looking at what those individual managers need in order to get to where they need to go in this particular environment. So the company that I work for offers quite a lot of diverse training, whether it's compulsory, the things that you have to do in order to be able to do your role, or the training that's been offered through the Property Council, the Diploma of Village Management. A lot of the professional development sessions have really morphed over the last few years, and it's really it's great to see those opportunities that are available for village managers that have not been previously. I think we've learned by sharing through our networks,
Yep.
and learned through our village manager meetings, and learn what we've needed to do the job from our resident committee. So, there's a number of ways in which we are exposed to our own professional development and learning.
Yeah, great.